The world of the Runelords has been combined by magic with another parallel world to form a new one, the beginning of a process that may unify all worlds into the one true world. Hello and welcome to Liam's Lyceum. I'm your host Liam, aka Hemvar, and today I'll be doing a spoiler-free review of David Farland's Chaosbound. Chaosbound is a novel by David Farland in Book 8 of the Runelords. It came out in 2009 and is currently the last published in the series, though eventually, hopefully, Carrie English will finally get together what was written of Book 9 and publish that, though, as far as I was aware, is practically finished several years ago, but it's still not out for some reason. So we do actually finally catch up with Borenson. It's been a couple books. He experiences the binding of the worlds and is now a giant that looks monstrous to the small humans of Mystaria. He also has two families, two wives, right? Because he's now two people put into one since the combining of the worlds. This really grounds the series after some weird, though enjoyable, last couple books, since Borenson is just a good character. Also catches us up with certain characters in places and makes them fit in with the doings of Farland and his, latest adventures. We also learn of a Lich, a member of the living dead of the Waste of the North. The coolest addition is actually some reappearances of Thanes from the first arc as we end the second arc. It was only here that I started questioning that men and women with the intelligence of 20 or more people didn't progress society to our level, if not higher. Maybe the answer to why is war. It's very, very common in this world, it seems like. Most Runelords are built for conquering. They're not built for peaceful things. While this is definitely an ending and is satisfying in a way and works as an end to the series if you really wanted to, I can definitely see where the supposed Book 9 was going to wrap things up. It's not as conclusive as Layer of Bones. And with Farland deceased, I don't know if we'll see that, right? I mean, again, Carrie English is supposedly finishing it, but we have no details beyond a single sentence and a Kickstarter that happened in February of 2023, right? No announcements from any site, no announcements from Carrie English, no announcements from the publisher, nothing. So we'll see if that actually happens. But overall, if it does end here, I'm actually very satisfied with this experience of this series. I like how the books practically get shorter as we go on. Something epic fantasy has a hard time doing. It is still epic fantasy, though it is also heroic fantasy and high fantasy, of course. The magic system is largely a system, actually, and I think it works okay here. You can definitely see it as a predecessor to Sanderson, but it definitely does not come off as overtly scientific. In that sense, it's a lot more romantic. But also leans heavy in the series onto some morals as well. They're largely Christian morals. Some of the planes of cosmology seem largely Mormon-inspired, which Farland was, so that's not very surprising, but it's also not anything to worry about. You probably won't even notice if you're not Mormon. So, but overall, a very enjoyable series, I think. Something that a lot of epic fantasy fans don't seem to read for some reason. While it doesn't have maybe as high as highs as something like The Wheel of Time, it doesn't waste your time like The Wheel of Time. It also doesn't have nearly as lows, and it doesn't have nearly as many. Right? There's not a lot of low points in the series. It stays pretty consistent throughout, which is something that Wheel of Time does not do, I think. So that'd be a big series compared to just for the time period on releases here and the type of fantasy it is. So maybe check it out if you're a Wheel of Time fan. I don't know why I'd be watching this review since it's the last one, but anyways, I'm happy I read this, and I'm looking forward to reading more by David Farland or Wolverton or whatever at some point in the future. We'll see what happens there. Anyways, Liam from Liam's Lyceum. I will catch you next time.